if you have watched the Afterlives Maldraxxus, a small detail might have slipped past you. The scene where Draka stealths through the felguards is the exact same scene from Illidan Harbinger a few years ago, where he pretty much destroyed those same guards. This is an interesting observation, but the actual question is, what the hell is Draka doing with the Burning Legion? Isn't she supposed to be dead and defending Maldraxxus? What is the connection between the demons and the Shadowlands? I'd like to thank Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. They've sent it to me about 6 months ago and it is amazing. You can put in 12 cards, you can put cash on the side, and it is just so much more practical than a regular wallet. There are over 30 colors and styles including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. There is a lifetime warranty and a test drive for 45 days, meaning if you don't love it, you can send it back. If you go to ridge.com/Doron, you can get 10% off as well as free worldwide shipping. Check out the link in the description below. Let's start off by saying that no, Shadowlands is not just an afterlife, but pretty much another realm, a dimension where it seems like all mortals eventually go to. They're bound to it. Now, Maldraxxus is the army of the Shadowlands and the main line of defense. I know I first thought when Shadowlands was announced an army, why would the Afterlife need an army to defend it against what exactly? But as I got into the expansion, my opinion definitely changed and it all started to make a lot more sense. Now, my question is, why doesn't the Shadowlands have an even bigger army, as everyone and their mother is literally invading this realm? There is so much evidence of aliens trying to reach the dimension of the dead, from the Voidlord invasion to the Naru, to even simpler races like the Drust getting their hands on Ardenweald. So yes, Shadowlands is definitely not in a vacuum and is in fact constantly in danger. Maldraxxus at the moment seems kinda useless as it is all but destroyed, but before it really seemed like it was incredibly powerful. You had Primus, the leader, that was said to be one of the best warlords, if not the best one in the universe, that allied with some powerful entity that allowed him to play out a battle a million different times and to come up with new strategies. He was essentially an encyclopedia of warfare. He could fight in whatever way you would want him to. There were different houses with potent weapons such as the Plague, and he even had spies, which is obviously the House of Eyes. Now, the House of Eyes brings us to the current topic. At this point in time, we still don't know what exactly is the connection between Shadowlands and the Burning Legion and Jailer and Sargeras. My thoughts are that the Legion just wanted to destroy Shadowlands, as well as the goal was to wipe out everything and to recreate it anew, and if we take that logic and go by it, I don't see why Shadowlands would be the exception to this grand crusade. We have definite confirmation that the Voidlords attempted to invade Shadowlands many times, and even Maldraxxus in particular, so I wouldn't be surprised if Legion just wanted to do the same thing. I'm guessing Primus realized that in certain occasions, offense is the best defense, so he employed the House of Eyes and decided to be proactive and send his agents to spy upon the Burning Legion at one of their strongholds. This in itself is nothing new. As I said, Shadowlands is about as secure as the war chief role of the Horde is stable, so everyone is just getting in and out. We have seen brokers getting pit lords, elementals, and dragons from different planets into the Shadowlands to fight in the arena, and obviously the Light managed to break through in Revendreth as well as the Voidlords. So just as outsiders can do so, I don't see why Shadowlands wouldn't be able to send out their own agents into other realms across the universe. This is all of course interesting information, but let's examine it in a little bit more detail and see why it is really interesting and why it could be a crucial bit of evidence for the future of the expansion. So months ago, everyone realized that Blizzard essentially reused the exact same shot from Harbinger Illidan, where Illidan invades a demonic world and essentially destroys it. Many blamed Blizzard for cutting corners and just being lazy and sloppy, and I gotta admit, I thought the same thing immediately, but it really doesn't seem to be the case. On multiple occasions, Blizzard sort of indirectly confirmed that this was intentional, which means that we're gonna figure out that connection soon enough. If you look at the latest view of the planet, the Draka version, she just stealths through the felguards, steal what seems to be a map or some sort of a paper, and disappears. On the other hand, Illidan and his demon hunters just go guns blazing and kill everyone in sight. What is interesting to note is that in the Draka version, the planet she's spying on seems to be a lot more lush and forested. To put it simply, it seems alive, while by the time Illidan arrives and invades it, it is all but a desolate wasteland, which is of course characteristic to a demonic world. If this is the same planet, this is no doubt a confirmation that this event, the Maldraxxus spy mission, occurred prior to the planet being destroyed. Now, it was never confirmed what this world was exactly, but if it was forested and then destroyed, it is likely a planet that Legion recently took over and they just did their thing. Some speculate that it could be Natrza, but I honestly doubt that, since that would be the headquarters of the Dreadlords for thousands of years at that point, so it wouldn't make sense for it to be an alive world, forest. Now, even if it is not Natrza, I think this could still tie the Dreadlords and the Jailer into this entire point. Here is my theory. We know that more than likely the Dreadlords are working for Sire Dreadlords of Revendred, who is in turn allied with the Jailer and is supplying him with anima in order to escape and to further the cause of death. Dreadlords seem to have been double agents and were working for the Legion while at the same time serving death. Now, Primus, the leader of Maldraxxus whom Draka said she knew, realized that the Jailer is breaking free and set out to see what is going on. Now, my thoughts are that he might have also suspected that Demetrius is plotting something with the Dreadlords and the Legion, so he sent out his spies to gather intelligence on his plans and this entire Dreadlord Ledge King Legion connection. Of course, at the moment, this is a speculation, but you gotta admit that it does definitely add up and it also makes sense from a timeline perspective. At the same time, it is also possible that Maldraxxus was doing counterintelligence against the Legion and bracing for a possible invasion in order to defend by prevention, but honestly, as this was Draka doing this, I doubt it, as it must have occurred recently, and as Legion set all their efforts upon Azeroth, I don't believe they just wanted to take on the entirety of the Shadowlands as well at the same time. So my opinion is that this most likely ties in with the Jailer Burning Legion connection that we are yet to learn more about. Thank you for watching. Check out what the Jailer wants from Anduin by clicking on the screen, and also check out Doronsmovies Academy for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.